Will be Louis Zilla, file 24-6777FH, probation violation sentencing. All right, so this is People v. Louis Zilla, file 24-6777FH, probation violation sentencing. Mr. Gilbert, have you had a chance to review the probation violation report?
We have, and we've gone through it. Right?
Any additions or corrections?
Just on page 3, was page 3, yes, where it says the probation violation charges, it says the disposition was guilty. He pled guilty that he had used, not possessed. I just wanted to do that for clarification.
Okay.
I believe the court clarified, you understand by using you also possessed, and he said yes.
Oh yeah, because that was the allegation, was that he had possessed it. So I think it's an accurate report. All right, Ms. Goodrich, any additions, corrections from the people?
Yes, as far as the sentencing credit, he was sentenced on the use of controlled substance in district court on December 20th, 2024, and he was sentenced to 45 days. So I don't think he should receive credit for December 20th to January 7th, which would be 18 days because he was sitting on sentence.
Okay, so you're saying from December 20th to January 7th? When?
To January 7th of this year, today. I think he was given credit up until today, but I think from December 20th to January 7th, he's been sitting on a district court sentence for use of controlled substance.
Oh, he was sentenced on December 20th?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Gilbert.
So yeah, I thought, Your Honor, that basically he would have gotten credit at 45 days that he received. He would have received credit against that automatically, and that it wouldn't have taken away anything that he had, considering he had been sitting for over 45 days.
Well, I guess the issue is if he's in the jail serving another sentence, then under the statutes and case law interpreting that, then I can't give him credit for the time he's sitting in jail serving another sentence. So if he's after January 20th been serving a district court sentence, he would not be entitled to credit in this file for those days.
And I do have the judgment of sentence if the court wants to review it, or Mr. Gilbert.
You don't dispute that you've sentenced?
No, not at all. I'm just my interpretation, I guess, it's a little different considering I think he'd had over 45 days not sentence they already sat. It's not that he came down from the jail. He didn't come outside and get sentenced.
I'm not following. Maybe you can help me.
Well, he's been sitting for quite some time. That's why, and so when he got sentenced, he had already been sitting longer than the 45 days that he got sentenced.
Oh, so on on December 20th.
Correct.
He was given a sentence of 45 days.
Correct.
With credit for 45 already served.
That because he'd already have served that amount.
I guess I probably do need to see the judgment.
So then my argument would be if that 45 days would not count for credit instead of the 18.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case because he wasn't, while those days were accumulating, he wasn't serving a sentence. It was pretrial detention for which he's receiving credit by the district court.
Okay,
So I think given that, so on December 20th, he was not in the jail because of the district court's sentence. He was in the jail because of this violation.
Sure.
Oh, so given that, I will still continue to give him those credit days, a total of 389.
thank you.
All right, anything you want to say on behalf of Mr. Zilla?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Zilla, I can attest to this, that every time I meet with Mr. Zilla, he is very focused that he has an issue, he has an addiction, and he needs treatment. And that's one thing that he is very consistent about. And anytime I've met with him on this file or a different file, that he has a problem that needs to be addressed and needs help. And I would ask the court to possibly consider not revoking his probation, but extend his probation a bit and see if that he can attend a treatment program that he can arrange and be successful in that, so that we don't see him back again. So I'd ask the court to consider that, or, he has that, but for quite a bit of time with the 380 some days, I'd ask for the court to possibly consider jail time or time served. But the treatment is something that I do think Mr. Zilla would benefit from, and would be possibly a good disposition. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Zilla, you don't have to say anything, but you're allowed to. Is there anything you want to tell me?
Yes, sure. When I was sentenced back in July, I know I needed to find new healthy coping skills to deal with life on its own terms. And at that moment, I did not know how to do that. I only knew I never wanted to be in this position again. I realized then that I needed to go to treatment. So I arranged to check into treatment on October 14th when I was to be released. I felt confident that my remaining 3 months in jail, I would stay sober. I let my guard down, and I have regretted every single day since. That relapse has devastated me. I thought about it every single day, but I am more determined than ever to get treatment and remain sober. My family has been very supportive, knowing that I cannot go back, but I can make a new start, and I can make a better end. Your Honor, I take full responsibility for my actions. I cannot begin to explain the remorse I feel for letting my family down. I've lost nearly everything. I was told that I could not use any substances on probation, and in one moment of weakness and desperation, I failed. And now I find myself back in here pleading for a second chance and praying I am fortunate enough to get one. I know if given another chance on probation, I would take full advantage of treatment and the recovered community available and be successful.
Yes, Your Honor. Back in July of 2024, he was sentenced to 12 months jail for that conduct under that case. And approximately a month later, he engaged in new criminal conduct by using controlled substances while incarcerated with others in the jail. I think that while I encourage the rehabilitation efforts of the defendant, that some jail time should be given for the deterrence effect of behaving in that manner while sitting on a sentence for felony behavior and then committing new conduct. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Zilla, I mean, when you come before the court on a probation violation sentence, it's the complicating factor is you come before the court to be sentenced because you violated probation. So there's the conduct that led to the violation. But then when it's eligible to revoke that probation, then we're sentencing you on the underlying crime as well, right? And so, the context, we have to keep those things in mind. So in July, I sentenced you on a very serious crime, aggravated domestic violence, meaning causing a serious injury. Second offense, a 5-year felony. And in that case, you had repeatedly punched your wife in the head, hit her with a car. It broke her arm, and that was witnessed by her daughter. And I told you the guidelines were 5 to 23 months. I told you I was on the borderline of whether to send you to prison. You remember that day? Yeah, so do I. And you go back and a very short time later, you're committing crimes in the jail. I have such a hard time understanding that. You know, with multiple people causing a security risk in the jail. You know, that's an extraordinary violation of your probation. The advisory guidelines don't even, you know, that's grounds to not be, every time there's a probation violation, there's grounds to not be limited by those guidelines because you haven't done well on probation. I told you you were on the borderline for committing, for me sending you to prison, and then you committed more crimes in the jail. So of course I'm sending you to prison, Mr. Zilla. I'm going to revoke your probation. Any fines and costs that were previously assessed remain due and owing in the amount of any unpaid balance. And I think there's grounds to exceed the guidelines given the severity of this assaulted crime and then your immediate commission of more crimes just after I sentenced you. So I'm going to commit you for 3 to 5 years, credit for 389 days. That is an upward departure of stated by reasons. You can file an appeal if you wish. I file an application to the Court of Appeals. If you want a lawyer, I give you one. But you have to make that request within 6 months. So we're going to hand you some paperwork explaining that appeal process. Ask you to initial one copy for us. The other ones for you to fill out if you want to take an appeal. You're not being sentenced today because you relapsed. You're being sentenced today because you beat somebody and you didn't take the second chance I gave you then. So don't come today and ask for a second chance. You had one and you didn't.